Welcome to part 2 of this video, and let's get down to it straight away. The most telling clue, to tell you that definitely Murathe is in the president's camp, is the fact that he still holds his position as a chief, very influential advisor to the president. And that would neatly explain his security detail. And it would also explain this latest piece of propaganda about his car being fired at. You see, there's a very good reason why propaganda is almost always associated with governments and large organizations. Because you need a setup, you need something organized, like an organization or a government, to be able to even try to spread propaganda. It is not the kind of thing that would ordinarily be associated with the lone wolves. People operating alone and for their own personal interests, and without the backing of any major force or organization. That hardly ever happens. In fact, almost never happens. Now, there's something Murathe said in the Citizen interview that would seem to be a contradiction. A lot of what he said during the interview confirmed what most Kenyans already know, that Jubilee, as the political party we knew, is no more. You see, Jubilee is a partnership between the Rift Valley and Central Province. That partnership no longer exists, because if it existed, the Tanga group would not exist. Now, the contradiction is that Murathe let it slip that Jubilee has a long-term plan, a middle-term plan, and a short-term plan. So how does a party that does not exist, or at best will not exist very soon, especially as we head closer to the 2022 elections, have a long-term plan? How? The answer is simple. Murathe told us very clearly that Jubilee is President Uhuru Kenyatta, and President Uhuru Kenyatta is Jubilee. And I can assure you that the long-term plans that Murathe was talking about are still very much in place. How do I know? Simply because his consultation, very close consultation, fact-finding mission, ongoing fact-finding mission, cooperation, and partnership with one of the largest political parties in the world is still ongoing, even as I make this video. I'm of course talking about the Communist Party of China, which has over 80 million registered members. Now, I've said one of the largest because actually in recent times it has been proved that the Chinese Communist Party is not actually the largest. There's another party, a political party in India, called the Bharatiya Janata Party, which is reported to have 88 million registered members, which experts say is at least 1.3 million more members than the Communist Party of China. Anyway, Murathe's links, association and close work with the Communist Party of China is on record. It's in the public domain, that information. The Jubilee Party has sent members of the party to China for training. Clearly, the long-term plan for Murathe and company is to have a party, a Jubilee party, or shall I rephrase that, a party associated with President Uhuru Kenyatta, having a large number of registered members, which would obviously guarantee that that political party would forever have great influence in the politics of Kenya. Now, whatever the ideology, whether it's communism, whether it's democracy, whatever it is, a party does not get a double-digit million number of members by accident. There is usually a plan that is executed, there are techniques used. And obviously, this is what Murathe and company want to carefully copy. So I can assure you, at least that one long-term plan is still very much in place. It should be very clear to Kenyans that the way the president's chief advisor operates He does not operate like the typical Kenyan politician, or political activist who look at things in a very short-term way. Let me just give you another example to prove my point. Long before the 2017 general elections, sometime in 2016, Bwana Murathe is on record, telling Kenyans that Uhuru Kenyatta's second term would have more discipline. They would deal very harshly and very firmly with corruption. And most Kenyans ignored that statement. And with good reason. How many times have politicians in Kenya assured us that they were going to deal with corruption? How many times have we heard the phrase, "We shall leave no stone unturned"? Very many times. So Kenyans ignored that statement and forgot all about it. Immediately after the 2017 general elections, when the opposition was still crying foul, when most Kenyans had refused to recognize Uhuru Kenyatta's second term, things started happening very fast. There was a dramatic change at the Directorate of Criminal Investigations. The Director of Public Prosecutions suddenly resigned and was appointed to the cabinet. Now, with the benefit of hindsight, these were the first critical steps being put into place to actually confront corruption in a manner that it has never been confronted in Kenya. Now, there are very many Kenyans, supporters of Raila Odinga, who say that the fight against corruption was influenced and even instigated by His Excellency Raila Odinga. Now, that is a nice, heartwarming story for any Raila Odinga sycophant or supporter, radical supporter. However, it is not factual, because Raila Odinga coming in, with the Building Bridges initiative, what that did was only to boost a plan that was already very much in motion. Anyway, let's not digress too much. My point is that this is a very well organized plan for Kenyan politics, into the next decades, in fact up to 100 years coming. That is how far ahead, this Jubilee plan is. And be very careful with the Jubilee definition. Define what Jubilee means carefully, and not naively. What all this means is even if Bwana Murathe resigns 10 times, 10,000 times, you can still not deny the fact that is bang in the middle of this long-term plan, which is mostly still shrouded in mystery. We can only pick out a few key points. But what is becoming very clear is the short-term part of this particular plan. And the very big news here is that it is now very clear, at least to me, that that short-term plan will ensure that Jubilee remains very influential in the next government. Again, be careful with the definition of Jubilee. Until next time, this is Kshs, Kumekucha.